Tonight on Lev Live at 6, young man dies in single vehicle incident on the Hummingbird Highway. Police commissioner speaks on the department's contracts with Mira family members. Independent legal opinion flags CARICOM's reappointment process of Dr. Carla Barnett. Independent legal opinion flags CARICOM's reappointment process of Dr. Carla Barnett. Sinkhole forces temporary closure of a section of the Hummingbird Highway. SIB says 26.1% of Belize's labor force are self-employed. Police get training on prosecutorial process, and activities continue commemorating Public Service Week. Stay tuned for these stories and more on tonight's newscast.
A year ago, on March 17, 2025, Builders Hardware introduced something new for Belize, our online store. For the first time, customers could explore thousands of products, place their orders, and complete their purchases entirely online. Whether you're nearby or in another district, you can browse what you need, place your order, and have it delivered directly to you. And for those who prefer to pick up their items, our smart lockers make it quick and simple. Just scan your code and your order is ready. Every day, more and more people across the country have begun turning to the platform as a faster and more convenient way to shop with Builders Hardware. Along the way, many customers have also found added benefits online, from special website offers to rewards for those signing up for the first time. All of this is just another step towards making our products more accessible to communities across Belize, bringing our store closer to you wherever you are.
Introducing Growatt, a global leader in distributed energy solutions, delivering innovative solar technology trusted around the world. Engineered for reliability, designed for sustainability, built to power every scenario, powering homes, empowering businesses, creating a smarter energy future for Belize. For residential hybrid systems that maximize energy independence, to homes across Belize benefiting from smarter, more efficient power management. Growatt off-grid solar storage solutions bring dependable electricity to locations beyond the traditional power grid, providing clean, reliable energy whenever and wherever it is needed. For businesses, Growatt delivers powerful commercial and industrial energy solutions that help reduce operating costs while improving energy security, including proven installations right here in Belize, helping businesses operate efficiently with dependable solar energy systems. As transportation evolves, Growatt EV charging solutions help power the future with clean energy. Need power on the move? Growatt portable solar power solutions provide flexible energy for construction sites, events, emergency applications, and temporary installations. Growatt delivers energy-smart solutions for a greener future. Distributed in Belize by Llano Supplies, 112 Ranchita Village, Corozal Town.
Cada conexión es más que solo una señal, es un estudiante abriendo las puertas a su futuro a través de la educación digital. Una mente joven atreviéndose a soñar en grande. Nuestra cultura compartida con el mundo en tiempo real. Y héroes cotidianos respondiendo al llamado del deber cívico. Cuando nos conectamos con Digi, empoderamos a Belice.
not just cigarettes. Vapes, hookahs, cigars, and other tobacco products all release harmful smoke and toxic chemicals. When you smoke or vape, that cloud doesn't just disappear. It becomes second-hand smoke and third-hand smoke that others breathe in. This smoke can cause cancers, diabetes, lung disease, and heart problems. It can kill anyone exposed to it. If you smoke or vape, step outside, far from others. We all deserve to breathe clean air.
The Isabel Palma Polyclinic 2, located in San Antonio, Toledo, conducts outreach visits to some of the most remote communities in southern Belize at least twice a month.
Here in the Dolores village, it's approximately 3 hours from San Antonio. As you all can see, it's a remote area. There's basically no electricity, no telecommunication services. Since it's very difficult for the people to reach to the clinic, we've decided to bring the clinic out here and provide different services. For example, today we are with the maternal child health. We also have a booth out here giving health educations and some games. We also have 3 doctors with us today doing general medical checkup. We have our nurses doing our triage. We also have pharmacy with us and also a lab. All that is being done here today is being covered by the Isabel Palma Smart Polyclinic 2 San Antonio NHI clinic.
The NEBL Finals is here, and Saturday night at the Belize Civic Center, Game 1 of this mega final showdown starts between the #1 team, the Belize City Defenders, riding a 12-game winning streak, goes up against the #2 team, the Orange Walk Running Rebels, in a best-of-5 series that will definitely be an all-out competitive battle between these rivals. Gates open at 7:30 p.m. for a 9 p.m. ferry tip-off. TV, cell phone, night stay, bar tabs, the NEBL girls, plus more. This Saturday night at the Belize Civic Center, Game 1 of the NEBL Finals between the rivals, the Belize City Defenders and the Orange Walk Running Rebels. Sponsored by the Government of Belize.
Good evening and welcome to Love Live at 6 with your news for tonight. I am Tamar Jones. An afternoon traffic incident on the Hummingbird Highway has claimed the life of a 21-year-old man from the Cayo district. Just after 1 o'clock this afternoon, Belmopan police responded to mile 48.5 on the Hummingbird Highway and found a badly damaged red Toyota Matrix on the left side of the road. A short distance away, they discovered the motionless body of Lazaro Elicio Alonso, who had suffered severe injuries. According to the initial police investigation, Alonso was the only person inside the vehicle and was traveling from Armenia village toward Belmopan when, for reasons that are still being investigated, he veered into the right side of the highway and lost control of the vehicle. Police say the Matrix overturned before coming to rest on the opposite side of the road. During the crash, Alonso was thrown from the vehicle and suffered fatal injuries. National Road Maintenance Unit Coordinator at the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing, Efrain Alpuche, was among those who came upon the incident prior to the authorities. Alpuche told Love News that he stopped to assist at the scene and tried to shield the body from passing motorists who were attempting to take pictures and videos.
I was heading from Hummingbird. Remember we had our show, no? So I went through I was coming from up that side, coming back, because the road open now, you know. The highway was open, so we could cross. So I came back, and while I was coming back to Bumperpan, that's when I encountered the accident. And then when I pull up, the traffic kind of slowed down because people, they watch what happened, and I pull up at the side of the road, and then the other people with me, they tell me that the guy already passed away. So when I walk over, I say, he dead for real because he hit the twisted, no? And then, and then everybody, they slowed down for take video and pictures, and so we kind of stand up front of the guy, make people move on the traffic, and bring some kind of covering, and we kind of cover the guy. He careened onto the left-hand side of the road. He slammed into that rock wall, they would see him. That, I guess, came around the curve too much, I guess, and hauled off to the left because the car was on the left-hand side heading towards Bumperpan. And he was on the right-hand side of the vehicle, out on the roadside. You saw no seatbelt. Okay. Because the vehicle never damaged that bad to say if he didn't have any seatbelt, he wouldn't have been in, maybe dead or injured or whatever, but he would have been in the vehicle. And then he'll have to check the police, whatever evidence they find in the vehicle.
Alonzo's body was taken to the Western Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead shortly after 2 this afternoon. However, due to limited space at the morgue, he was transferred to the Carl Huschener Memorial Hospital morgue in Belize City, where a post-mortem examination will be conducted. Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado is pushing back against suggestions that political interference played a role in the release of former UDP Chairman Alberto August from police custody last month. Rosado was questioned today after reports surfaced alleging that Prime Minister John Briceño had instructed him to facilitate August's release from the San Ignacio police station on May 31. When asked directly about the reported intervention, Commissioner Rosado questioned the source of the information and firmly stated that no elected official has ever contacted him seeking special treatment or favors in relation to police investigation.
And sometimes, I don't know where I get no information from, Since I assumed tenureship as the Commissioner of Police, no politician have ever called me to assist, to ask for a favor. But what I will say is that in terms of, the matter is before the court with Alberto August, so I don't want to discuss in details. But the public need to understand that while they have a right to freedom of speech, including political discourse, political commentaries, or even criticism of policy, there's a legal threshold when you intentionally use social media to demean, to humiliate, or to spread false information. Those conduct do not constitute protected speech, and it's liable to, or may be held for criminal liability for those individuals.
So you're convinced that this charge is going to stick, going through the court process?
I am confident that an offense was committed, and I'm confident that the police department will have a successful prosecution.
The issue surrounding August's cellular phones has also attracted public attention after he claimed on social media that any attempt to force access to his devices with assistance from the United States Embassy or the U.S. State Department would amount to a violation of his constitutional right to privacy. Responding to questions on the matter, Commissioner Rosado explained that there is an established legal process governing the extraction of data from electronic devices seized during criminal investigations. He emphasized that investigators do follow the law and obtain the necessary judicial authorizations before any forensic examination of a cellular phone can be conducted.
Please appreciate that there's certain protocol, certain procedures that the investigator must follow whenever they're investigating crimes that involve digital evidence. Let me say this. We have one specialized unit within the police department that is in Belize City that have a licensed and operational Celebrate that is used to extract and analyze digital evidence. However, before we access any devices, we must seek the warrant from the court. And that process is being applied for us to get the warrant in order for us the necessary extraction analysis to be done.
The matter stems from August's arrest on May 30 when he was detained for more than 24 hours while police investigated a cyberbullying complaint filed by the then Minister of Home Affairs, Oscar Mira, over a Facebook post. August was subsequently charged under the Cybercrime Act and released. Police Commissioner Dr. Richard Rosado has clearly indicated that at no time did the Belize Police Department receive directives from former Minister Oscar Mira on contracts. Dr. Rosado was asked this morning if the department was instructed to hire F.T. Williams or any other family member of Mira to work on the department's electrical or air conditioning projects. Here is how that interview went this morning at the Old Belize Pavilion.
Did Mr. Mira at any time instruct the police department to acquire AC servicing and installation services from his brother Cyrus or F.T. Williams?
I can say that at no time did the minister or anyone instructed the police department to purchase from any supplier.
Did the police department use F.T. Williams for its air conditioning repair, and is the contract for those services based on receiving multiple estimates from other service providers?
The way the police department is structured, we have the accounting officer, which is the CO. The CO then delegate authority to myself and my 4 deputies. My 4 deputies oversee the different units that fall under them. They have different suppliers. I do not know the specific suppliers that each one would engage, but we have a number of suppliers that have worked with the Belize Police Department.
As the Ministry of Home Affairs undergoes a temporary change in leadership, Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado today welcomed the appointment of Minister Julius Espat as interim minister. Speaking following this morning's National Do the Right Thing Award ceremony, Rosado said the police department looks forward to working closely with Espat as he assumes responsibility for the ministry while an audit is conducted into procurement matters connected to Minister Oscar Mira's previous tenure at the Ministry of Defense. The commissioner noted that maintaining stability and continuity within the ministry remains important, particularly as the department continues to advance several ongoing crime-fighting and community policing initiatives.
I had a brief discussion with him, and I believe he brings a fresh perspective to policing. His perspective will be able to challenge our assumption and create better strategies for us within the police department. I gather that he supports a more balanced approach in policing, one that encompasses combining effective policing with targeted social intervention program. And I do support that initiative because it will be able to allow us to suppress crime today and prevent it from happening tomorrow.
Either way, though, you're not looking to really shake things up, right? Because it's only an interim post right now. And if it is that Minister Mira were to be removed, then they'd actually have to find a permanent minister.
I believe the leadership within the police department, whoever is the minister, we will work along with them. And I believe that they all bring a fresh perspective that will challenge our assumption in how we do policing.
Rosado confirmed that a meeting is scheduled for later today involving Minister Espat, Chief Executive Officer Elton Bennett, and the leadership of the Belize Police Department. The session is expected to provide the interim minister with an overview of ongoing operations, key priorities, and matters currently before the ministry. Comments made by Prime Minister John Bersenio on the future of Belize's sugar industry are now making headlines beyond the country's borders, with a Mexican news outlet pointing to Belize as an example of how the sugar sector may need to adapt to a changing economic reality. In an article published this week, Sol Quintana examined the Prime Minister's recent remarks that government bailouts for the sugar industry can no longer be relied upon as a solution to the sector's challenges. The publication argued that the situation facing Belize mirrors many of the same pressures confronting sugar producers in southern Quintana Roo, including rising production costs, labor shortages, and uncertainty in international markets. The article described Belize's position as a significant shift away from years of government support for the industry. It suggests that both producers on both sides of the border will increasingly need to focus on innovation, efficiency, and new business strategies if they are to remain competitive. The discussion stems from comments made by Prime Minister Briceño on June 19 when he addressed ongoing concerns within the local sugar industry. While acknowledging the difficulties facing cane farmers and their associations, the Prime Minister made it clear that government resources are limited and that the industry must begin preparing for a future where direct financial assistance cannot always be expected. The Prime Minister stressed that success in the industry will depend on producers finding new ways to improve productivity and lower costs rather than relying on emergency government intervention. The Sol Quintana Roo article noted that sugar remains a critical economic driver for Belize and for neighboring communities in southern Mexico. However, it argued that the industry's long-term sustainability will depend on how effectively producers adapt to changing conditions. For Belize, the conversation comes at a critical time. The sugar industry continues to grapple with declining yields, increased operating expenses, labor concerns, and fluctuating global market conditions. These challenges have fueled ongoing discussions among government officials, cane farmers, and industry stakeholders about the best path forward. While reactions to the Prime Minister's comments have been mixed, the message highlighted by the Mexican publication is one that appears increasingly difficult to ignore. The future of the sugar industry may depend less on government support and more on the sector's ability to modernize. A 48-page legal opinion prepared by Trinidadian legal scholar Rajendra Ramlogan of the University of the West Indies concludes that Barnett's reappointment may not have complied with the requirements set out in the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, the founding legal framework of CARICOM. According to Ramlogan, the decision was finalized during a closed-door retreat of regional leaders in Nevis following the CARICOM Heads of Government Summit in February. He argues that the process excluded some officials who were legally entitled to participate and failed to secure the level of support required under the treaty. The issue first emerged after Trinidad and Tobago objected to both the process and the outcome. And Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar has maintained that her country did not support Barnett's reappointment and was not properly represented when the matter was discussed. Persad Bissessar had left the summit before the retreat, and her government contends that Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers, who was acting as head of the delegation, was effectively left out of the discussions. CARICOM officials have disputed that claim, saying Sobers was invited but declined to attend because of concerns about the boat trip to the retreat venue. In his opinion, Ramlogan argues that the retreat was operating under procedures different from those of a formal meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government, the body that holds authority under the treaty to appoint or reappoint a Secretary General. Because of that distinction, he says the retreat may not have had the legal authority to make such a decision. He also points to treaty provisions that allow a head of government to designate a minister or other representative to attend meetings in their place. Ramlogan contends that representatives from Trinidad and Tobago, the Bahamas, and Antigua and Barbuda were unable to participate, creating what he describes as a significant procedural defect. Another concern raised in the opinion involves the role of the Community Council of Ministers. Ramlogan argues that the treaty requires the council to formally recommend a candidate before the conference can make an appointment. He says there is no evidence that such a recommendation was made in Barnett's case. The legal scholar stresses that his findings are not a reflection on Dr. Barnett's qualifications, performance, or integrity. Instead, he says the opinion focuses solely on whether the proper constitutional and procedural steps were followed. The matter has already attracted attention from other regional leaders. Earlier this year, Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness suggested that another meeting of CARICOM heads of government may be the best way to resolve the dispute and bring clarity to the issue. For its part, CARICOM has not indicated that it intends to revisit the appointment. However, Ramlogan concludes that the concerns surrounding the process are serious enough to warrant further examination, arguing that if treaty requirements were not followed, the decision could ultimately be considered constitutionally defective and potentially void. The Statistical Institute of Belize today provided a snapshot of the country's labor market as it unveiled findings from its latest labor force survey during a press conference in Belize City. The presentation, led by statistician Arnell Wade, examined several key indicators that help paint a picture of the nation's workforce. Among the areas covered were employment, unemployment, underemployment, informal employment, and the segment of the population that remains outside of the labor force. Wade explained that the labor force survey is one of the Institute's most important tools for measuring economic activity and tracking trends within the job market. According to Wade, the survey is conducted twice each year, in April and September, and is based on a sample of approximately 3,000 households across the country. One of the findings highlighted during the presentation was the continued difference in labor force participation between men and women. As of April 2026, males remain more active in the labor force than females, a trend that has been observed in previous survey periods.
In April 2026, the estimated labor force was comprised of 170,056 persons, of which nearly 3/5 were male and over half lived in rural areas. Male labor force participation consistently exceeds that of females across all age groups, with males aged 25 and older showing the highest rates, while young females aged 14 to 24 recorded the lowest rate at 27.1% in April 2026. In April 2026, the unemployment rate stood at 1.9%. As the graph shows, female unemployment was slightly higher at 2.2% compared to 1.7% for males. Persons with tertiary education as their highest level of education completed experienced the highest rate of unemployment, followed by persons whose highest level of education completed was at the secondary level. Of the employed population, 72% were employees, while 26.1% were self-employed. Persons in informal employment are defined as persons or entities not registered with the Belize Companies and Corporate Affairs Registry or the Belize Social Security Board. Persons who are in paid employment at private entities not contributing payments to Social Security are also considered informally employed. In April 2026, 34.1% of all employed persons were informally employed, down from 37.5% in April 2025. Over 60% of those in informal employment were males, and more than 60% resided in rural areas. The largest share of employed persons had primary education as their highest level of education attained, except the formerly employed, with tertiary and the underemployed with secondary education as their highest level of education attained. Formerly employed persons continued to earn the highest monthly income and worked the most hours. Average monthly income for all employed persons increased to $1,525 in April 2026, up from $1,498 in April 2025.
Prices continue to rise up to April 2026, according to data presented today by the Statistical Institute of Belize. The national inflation rate stood at 4.3% compared to the same period in 2025, reflecting a continued increase in the cost of goods and services. The Consumer Price Index, CPI, has also increased from 119.6 to 124.8 over the one-year period, signaling higher overall price levels in the economy. The CPI is a key indicator used to measure changes in the cost of living by tracking price movements of commonly purchased goods and services. Jaime Crismo of SIB's Economics Statistics Department provided a breakdown of the recent figures.
On the left, we have the national monthly inflation rate in Belize from May 2021 to May 2026. Inflation was at 2.8% in May 2021, and then it rose sharply to a peak of 7.4% in mid-2022. Since then, inflation generally trended downward throughout 2023 to 2025. However, during the first 5 months in 2026, inflation went up and currently stands at 4.3%. For the first 5 months in 2026, when compared to the same period in 2025, the cost of goods and services purchased by household increased by 2% on average. This was mainly due to an increase in almost all of the major CPI categories. Looking at the contribution by category, transport, food and non-alcoholic beverages, housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels were the primary drivers of the overall rise in consumer prices. On the other hand, the information and communication category was the only category to record a decline, with a negative inflation rate of 0.03%. In addition to the increases in fuel, the transport category was also up due to the increase in passenger transport by road, which went up by 3.3%, and passenger transport by air, which went up by 4.9%. We can observe that Punta Gorda experienced the highest year-to-date inflation rate of 3.1%. Consumers in this municipality experience above-average prices increases for food and non-alcoholic beverages, restaurants and accommodation services, transport, clothing, and footwear, LPG, alcoholic beverages, and domestic and household services. On the other hand, Belize City experienced the lowest year-to-date inflation rate of 1.6%.
SIB data shows increase across several key categories, with transportation recording the highest rise, followed by health services, food, and other household-related costs. The figures indicate variation across sectors, contributing to continued pressure on household spending. SIB reports that the main contributor to inflation during the period was transportation, while higher prices were also recorded in electricity, food, and LPG. The wait is over as the MSME Roadshow 2026 officially gets underway, with the opening ceremony this afternoon in San Ignacio Town, Cayo. The event marks the formal launch of the national initiative bringing together entrepreneurs, small business owners and stakeholders to highlight opportunities available through the program. The initiative, facilitated by Beltrade under the government of Belize, aims to strengthen micro, small, and medium enterprises. Deputy Executive Director of Beltrade, Monique Usher, was present at today's opening ceremony, where she shared the excitement surrounding the launch of the MSME Roadshow.
Today we're not simply opening another event with the launch of the National MSME Roadshow. This is a reaffirmation of the government's commitment and investment in MSME development. And we know that the backbone of our economy is micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. And thousands of hardworking men and women continue to toil the soil and continue to contribute towards the heartbeat of our Belizean economy, which is MSME development. So we are most grateful for the hard work that you do, the contributions. We know that micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, they are family-owned stores that serve our communities. I mentioned I'm from Cayo, so when I grew up, we had a lot of tienda in the area. So we also know that our farmers, and we're going to be here at San Ignacio. The San Ignacio market is even a tourist attraction, so that goes to speak to the volume of entrepreneurship. Tour operators, restaurants, mechanics, increasingly our digital entrepreneurs form the foundation of entrepreneurship in every district, municipality, and even villages. I must emphasize that when we design the entrepreneurship, the National Entrepreneurship Roadshow, it is in collaboration and partnership, and we ensure that we're inclusive in our approach. But this program was never just about tax relief. It was about creating a pathway to formalization, expanding market access, increasing access to grants and other opportunities, and empowering entrepreneurs to build more resilient businesses that can contribute even more meaningfully to Belize's economic future.
Among those present at the opening ceremony were Beltrade clients as well as small business owners who have previously participated in the roadshow. They also showcased their services and shared how the opportunities and programs offered by Beltrade have benefited them and what it means for the growth and development of their businesses.
Every business starts with a challenge that needs solving. In my case, I saw businesses, organizations, and entrepreneurs struggling to communicate their value effectively in an increasingly digital world. The challenge inspired me to build solutions that combine creativity, technology, and strategy to help people connect with their audiences and grow. That's why initiatives like Beltrade's The MSME Roadshow, along with programs such as the BEEP, the Belizean, and the DBED, are so important. They create opportunities for entrepreneurs to learn, connect, access resources, and strengthen their businesses. My name is Carlos Waite, founder of Vantage, a marketing and tech company dedicated to helping businesses and organizations tell their stories, build their brands, and leverage modern technology to achieve their goals. The training, mentorship, and business development support encouraged me to think more about strategically, strengthen my planning, and focus on long-term growth.
Like many other small business owners, my journey was filled with a lot of learning experiences, challenges, setbacks, late nights, and moments where I questioned if this was really my path. That is why events like the National MSME Roadshow is very important, because it equips us with the knowledge and the tools that we need to grow. So whether you're just starting out,
organizers say the program is designed to make business support more accessible, particularly for MSMEs outside of urban centers, and become more competitive. The San Ignacio opening ceremony sets the stage for the first official roadshow sessions. A powerful earthquake that struck northern Venezuela has left 6 Belizean students studying in the South American nation shaken, with one reportedly sustaining minor injuries after a section of a roof fell on her during the tremor. While initial reports indicate that all 6 students are safe, Love News understands that the incident has caused concern among the Belizean contingent. Our newsroom is continuing to gather additional information as it becomes available. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been closely monitoring the situation. Chief Executive Officer Oscar Arnold told Love News that Belize's diplomatic mission in Venezuela moved quickly to establish contact with the students following the earthquake. According to Arnold, Ambassador Annie Lou Burns spoke directly with the group and confirmed that although they were concerned by the experience, none reported being in a state of panic or immediate danger. One of the Belizean students also shared video footage with Love News from the aftermath of the earthquake, describing the frightening moments as the building shook and debris fell. The student said the experience was alarming.
Crazy, everything crazy right now. Matters. Control the building right there. Crack up. This one broke up. That one they broke up over there. That one the we one right there. So matters the wall let me they drop up and all kind of thing. Watching people. People like crazy. People they cry, people they bawl, no know what they do.
According to CEO Arnold, Ambassador Burns conducted an exercise with these students in preparation for emergencies. He added that the students are aware that they should have go bags prepared with medication, copies of travel documents, food, chargers, among other items. Arnold further told us that the ministry is cognizant that the ordeal has to be uneasy for them, assuming they are without electricity and the process to access shelters will be a little slow, and that itself will be somewhat frustrating. He noted that with a forecast for heavy rains tonight, it will exacerbate the problem and that they will remain in contact with them. This is Love Live at 6. We have more news for you after this break. Stay with us.
No one should be up at this time. If you're still up, it's not you, it's your mattress. Because the right mattress changes everything. Sherwood Bedding Luxury Resort Pillow Top Mattress. Sleep better, wake better. Available at Design Depot. All in one place.
People, not businesses, power the economy. And they deserve to be acknowledged, appreciated, and compensated for their efforts. Because when your people are successful, so is your business. Neo People, simplify your HR and payroll needs with one powerful solution.
Commercial Cleaning and Products of Belize, CCP, formerly known as Carpet Care Plus, offers a wide variety of professional restorative cleaning services and products in Belize. With over 20 years of experience in the industry, our mission has always been to provide our customers with the best products and services for quality, safe, and environmentally friendly cleaning. What separates us from the rest? The services we offer. Fabric cleaning for all types of carpets, upholstery, walls, and drapes. Vehicle detailing for both the interior and exterior. Total restorative cleaning of ceramic and porcelain tiles for floors, walls, marble, granite, limestone, travertine, clay, and more. Degreasing and polishing of the entire kitchen and all its equipment. Also custom concrete designs. We are a supplier of the most cost-efficient and economically viable products when you buy our specialized super concentrated formulas, such as cleaners, disinfectants, deodorizers, and sanitizers. Additionally, we also carry professional cleaning equipment such as mops, buckets, vacuums, doormats, and window equipment, which are very durable and practical. You can order any of our products online at www.ccpbelize.com. CCP Belize uses only trained technicians, professional commercialized equipment, and EPA certified products. Our products are 100% biodegradable. We also have certified green products, which are used by Green Globe approved companies. Visit us at 6C8 North Front Street, Belize City, or contact us at telephone 223-1820. Email us info@ccpbelize.com.
From a well-established hardware store, now we online giving you more. Home or job site, no stress, no sweat. Everything you need, you could get. Household appliances, day or night. Shopping for supplies made easy and light. Click, click, boom, and the order done. Building in Belize just got more fun.
While we're long in a line, save your energy and your time. Delivery pulling up right by your gate. Castillo's hardware, making building great.
Build smarter,
shop easier. Castillo's making life sweeter.
anytime.
Anywhere, hardware shopping without a care.
Browse online, get what you need.
Fast and easy with lightning speed.
Pick up or delivery, choose your way.
Castillo's got you covered every day. From your phone, just tap them by. No more hassle, no more.
Do it best with Castillo's hardware.
Money travels fast, so make sure you check it before you spend it. Here are 4 easy ways to know your money is real. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Look closely at your note by holding it to the light to see the watermark and the note value. Notice how the see-through image completes itself perfectly. Feel for authenticity. Run your fingers over the raised portrait and the bars on the edges. 1 bar for the $2 and up to 6 bars for the $100. Tilt the note to see the hidden value appear. Look for the moving images on the security thread and holographic shimmer on higher denominations. Check closely. Use UV light or a magnifying glass to find hidden images and microtext. Remember, handling counterfeit money is illegal. If you spot a fake, report it to the police immediately. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Know your money. Check it before you spend it. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
Rotavirus is a leading cause of severe watery diarrhea and vomiting in young children. It can lead to dangerous dehydration and hospital visits. The good news? The rotavirus vaccine is now available countrywide. It is given in drops at 2, 4, and 6 months of age. Protect your child. Visit your nearest health clinic today.
Defenders don't frighten nobody.
The NEBL Finals is here. And Saturday night at the Belize Civic Center, Game 1 of this mega final showdown starts between the #1 team, the Belize City Defenders, riding a 12-game winning streak. Goes up against the #2 team, the Orange Walk Running Rebels, in a best-of-5 series that will definitely be an all-out competitive battle between these rivals. Gates open at 7:30 p.m. for a 9 p.m. ferry tip-off. TV, cell phone, night stay, bar tabs, the NEBL girls, plus more. This Saturday night at the Belize Civic Center, Game 1 of the NEBL Finals between the rivals, the Belize City Defenders and the Orange Walk Running Rebels. Sponsored by the Government of Belize.
In Dolores, there's no electricity or phone service, and the nearest satellite clinic is still more than an hour away. For many residents, access to healthcare is rare. Some women have even given birth in transit while trying to reach the closest facility. That's why the arrival of the Isabel Palma Polyclinic 2 team is so important.
In our village, we don't have no transportation, so we have to pay someone to take us. If there is no service today, some of our patients, they have to go in PG or in San Antonio. We just come to see some doctors. We thank them for their precious time they give us today, and we don't have to pay any cost.
These vital outreach missions are made possible through Belize's National Health Insurance NHI program.
Welcome back to Love Live at 6. Motorists traveling along the Hummingbird Highway can once again use the route after emergency repair works were completed this afternoon at mile 17.5. The Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing has confirmed that the affected section of the highway, which was temporarily closed earlier today after a sinkhole developed beneath the road surface, has now been reopened to traffic. The closure came after engineers discovered that a section of the pavement had collapsed above the existing culvert, prompting officials to immediately shut down the roadway as a precaution while repairs were carried out. According to the ministry's initial assessment, the culvert itself remained structurally sound and continued to function as designed. However, the embankment and road surface above it had failed, creating a hazardous condition for motorists. Emergency crews worked throughout the day to stabilize the area and restore the roadway, allowing traffic to resume by this afternoon. During the closure, drivers traveling between Belize City and the western districts were forced to seek alternative routes, resulting in delays for commuters and commercial traffic. The ministry thanked the public for its patience and cooperation while the repairs are being undertaken, and reiterated that the temporary closure was necessary to ensure the safety of all road users. Officials say they will continue monitoring the area to ensure the roadway remains safe following today's repairs. The magazine Dental Academy, a new institution founded by veteran dentist Dr. Osbert Usher and educator Karen Simplice, was launched today on Magazine Road in Belize City. The academy was created with the goal of advancing dental hygiene across communities while providing students with the knowledge and skills needed to succeed in the profession. The vision of the academy is to become a nationally accredited and regionally recognized institution for dental hygiene education, while promoting better patient care through high-quality evidence-based training. Its mission is to produce graduates who are not only knowledgeable but ethical and competent professionals in the field. The one-year program has been designed to meet international standards and will cost $20,000 to complete. Despite being a newly launched institution, Dr. Usher says he has full confidence in the program and believes it will help shape the future of dental hygiene education in Belize.
Yes, we certainly believe that Belize needs at present at least about 100 dental hygienists so as to suffice the population. We have projections up to 2035 already. So we are looking at a 9-year program with 25 individuals annually.
Also lending his expertise to the academy is lecturer Dr. Sylvan Thompson. He spoke about the importance of establishing a dedicated dental hygiene training program, explaining that the academy will help prepare a new generation of professionals while contributing to improved oral healthcare services across the country.
The academy is founded on the vision, prevention, our goal. This principle emphasizes proactive oral health care, community awareness, and the importance of preventative dentistry as the cornerstone of better health outcomes. A lot of the children, teenagers, young adults, they have a high incidence of dental cavities in the mouth. Most of them are coming just to basically remove their teeth. I want to take it out because it's hurting. what we want to improve here is their oral health in the future, their care in the future. So if we can get them younger, we have more people in the healthcare industry. We hope to reduce the number of incidents of cavities in these persons, and then have a better oral health throughout their life. Okay.
The official inauguration for the Academy is set for Friday, June 26. After several years on pause, the Belize Police Department has officially revived its national Do the Right Thing program, an initiative aimed at recognizing and rewarding students who demonstrate positive behavior, leadership, and good citizenship both in and out of the classroom. The program, which is spearheaded by the Police Department's community-oriented policing unit, returned to the national stage today with an awards ceremony held at the Old Belize Pavilion. Students from across the country were recognized for their hard work, discipline, and commitment to making positive choices. The initiative has long been viewed as one of the department's most successful youth engagement programs, encouraging young Belizeans to stay focused on their education while promoting values such as respect, responsibility, and community service. Addressing those in attendance, Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado said modern policing extends far beyond responding to crime. He explained that meaningful engagement with communities, particularly young people, remains an essential part of effective law enforcement.
As the Commissioner of Police, I am truly happy that we were able to reintroduce the Do the Right Thing program after it was discontinued 7 years ago. And it is an important opportunity for us to highlight and engage students or a student at high school to highlight the challenges they went through and how they overcome these challenges. The national award is basically based on selection from the countrywide, all the high schools, all schools that participated, and then the top 5 were selected. I would yield that to the Commander of Community Policing to explain the process that we went through to do the selection, because it does involve a number of schools, it does involve a number of individuals that did the selection. We believe that community engagement, youth engagement is something that the police department must engage into. It's more than law enforcement, it's more than just enforcing the law. It's also engaging the youth in positive ways, hence the reintroduction.
The students honored during today's ceremony represented schools from every district and were selected based on their conduct, academic effort, leadership qualities, and willingness to serve as positive role models. The second place winner, Erwin Alvarez, spoke on his experience in the program.
We came in accordance that I was going to be the coordinator to coordinate everything, like get our mentors, get the people that need the help, and that really helped me shape myself into the leader that I am today. So what the Do the Right Thing program basically did was just like enhance that sort of feeling that I already had, and showcase my talent to the wonderful people of Belize. Well, to be honest, I didn't know anything at all until right now, because I wasn't told anything that I won second place. So it was a very big surprise to find out here in person and live. So that was a very wonderful and heartwarming feeling.
Police officials say they hope the return of the program will inspire more young Belizeans to make good decisions and recognize that positive actions, no matter how small, can have a lasting impact. A Belize Defense Force soldier has been remanded to the Belize Central Prison after being formally charged in connection with the shooting of a police officer during a violent altercation at a funeral repast in Lemonal Village earlier this week. 27-year-old Alexander Frederick Reynolds appeared unrepresented before the Belize City Magistrates Court this morning, where he was arraigned on 3 indictable offenses: attempted murder, dangerous harm, and use of deadly means of harm against Police Constable Faron Muslar. Before the charges were read, the senior magistrate questioned why Reynolds had his head wrapped in bandages. Reynolds explained that he had sustained chop injuries during the incident. Because the charges involved the alleged use of a firearm, the court had no jurisdiction to consider bail. Reynolds was therefore remanded to the Belize Central Prison until August 19. The charges stem from an incident shortly after midnight on June 22nd at the home of John Anthony in Lemonal Village, where family and friends had gathered for the repast of Anthony's late wife. Police say Constable Muslar had briefly left the gathering to check on his children before returning and sitting beside his common-law wife. Investigators alleged that Reynolds approached Muslar and shoved him, prompting Muslar to push him back. According to police, Reynolds then allegedly pulled a 9mm pistol from his waistband and fired a shot above the officer's head. Fearing for his life, Muslar drew his service firearm, and the two men struggled for control of the weapon. During the struggle, police say Muslar was shot in the left side of the chest. Authorities further alleged that Muslar then drew a machete and struck Reynolds, who, despite his injuries, allegedly fired a second shot that struck the officer in the right shoulder. Muslar reportedly lost consciousness and later awoke at the Karl Huschener Memorial Hospital, where he received treatment for his injuries. Questions have been raised in recent days over this year's police promotions, with allegations circulating that some officers who were elevated in rank neither passed the required promotional examinations nor, in some cases, even sat the exams. The claims were put directly to Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado today, who firmly rejected the allegations and defended the integrity of the promotion process within the Belize Police Department. Commissioner Rosado explained that promotions are not based solely on examination results, but are guided by a comprehensive evaluation process.
Sometimes you have to stop, listen to stupidity. There's a process that is regulated within the Police Act on how promotion is done, or promotion are done. It's initiated when an application are sent out, or acceptance of application are accepted by the department. A vetting committee vet those applications. They are then shortlisted. Then after they are shortlisted, they then move on to the promotional exam. Those who pass the promotional exam, those applicants are then shortlisted to go before the promotional board. So there's an entire process that is legislated in the Police Act.
The commissioner maintained that the Belize Police Department remains committed to a fair and transparent promotions process, adding that while examinations form an important component of career advancement, they are only one of several factors considered when determining an officer's suitability for promotion. This is Love Live at 6. We return after this break. Stay with us.
Back to School 2026 with the Angeles Press is here. And this year is bigger and better. We're talking unbelievable deals all summer long. Starting June 15, stock up on all your school essentials.
New notebooks? Check. Fresh backpacks? Check. Prices that make you smile? Double check.
Mommy, I want my new Samsonite backpack.
That's right. Samsonite still offers a sweet 1-year warranty. And hey, you even get a free merch with purchase while supplies last. Stay in the loop by following the Angeles Press on social media. Every Friday during our back to school season, look out for our jaw-dropping This Stuff for Real deals.
So before you shop, make sure you follow
The Angeles Press, your back-to-school headquarters all summer long. The Angeles Press and the Love Foundation, transforming lives with love.
If this is an emergency situation, please call 911 right away for immediate assistance. Do not use the Crime Stoppers program in an emergency situation. Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. Remember, the more information you give the officers, the more likely it is that we will be able to identify the suspect or confirm a crime has taken place. This ultimately helps when making arrests. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Never put yourself in danger to gather information. However, if you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Once you click Submit Tip, P3 will ask to send you notifications. You choose what's right for you. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Keep that info safe as you'll need it to check the status of your tip. Using the app, simply log back in using the PIN you created when you first opened it. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
No right. Garbage in the streets, creating dump sites, throwing no trash on the highway. We not fit do that. Only we could stop this. Each of we play an important part in protecting our beautiful country. This that we believe. Respect it, cherish it, love it.
Looking to perfect your roofing or siding project with precision? At Coop Sheet Metal, we've got the machine that makes it happen. Introducing our state-of-the-art double folding machine equipped with advanced technology and engineered to handle complex metal bends in long pieces, various angles, and intricate profiles. Need trims up to 21 feet? Coop Sheet Metal has what you need. From modern siding to custom flashings and fascia details, Coop Sheet Metal makes the products better, faster, and more accurately. For residential, commercial, industrial, or even custom roofing, siding, and trims, all at one place. If you're not sure what you need, we will walk you through it from start to finish. At Coop Sheet Metal, it's not just about metal, it's about variety, confidence, and flawless finish. That's Coop Sheet Metal, your one-stop metal source from start to finish. Call now at 823-0118 or visit coopsheet.com.
No se trata solo de cigarrillos. Los vapes, hookahs, cigarros y otros productos de tabaco liberan humo y químicos tóxicos. Cuando fumas o vapeas, la nube de humo no desaparece. Se transforma en humo de segunda mano y de tercera mano que otras personas respiran. Este humo puede causar cáncer, diabetes, enfermedades pulmonares y problemas cardíacos. Puede matar a cualquier persona expuesta. Si fumas o vapeas, aléjate de los demás. Todos merecemos respirar aire limpio.
Manholes play a critical role in keeping our sewage and drainage systems functioning properly. They allow our maintenance team to inspect, clean, and clear blockages. When covers are missing or compromised, the entire system and the public are placed at risk. Stealing or damaging manhole covers is a criminal offense and creates dangerous conditions on our streets and sidewalks. Motorists and drivers are reminded that it is an offense to park or drive on sidewalks. The weight of vehicles, large or small, can crack and dislodge manhole covers. In an ongoing effort to protect lives, property, and public infrastructure across Belize City, your Belize City Council continues its citywide manhole cover replacement program. Since the launch of this initiative, Thousands of damaged or missing manhole covers have been replaced, improving safety, accessibility, and the overall appearance of our streets and sidewalks. Despite these strides, manhole covers continue to be stolen or damaged, creating serious risks for pedestrians and motorists, including severe injuries, traffic incidents, and damage to personal property. If you see a manhole cover that is broken, missing, or unsafe, report it immediately. Take a photo and share the location with us via WhatsApp at 673-9055 or by calling 227-2308. Remember, maintaining manhole covers requires a shared responsibility. Together, we can prevent accidents, protect public infrastructure, and keep Belize City safe for everyone. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
At Habet and Brothers Habet, celebrate your super handy dad with gifts he'll actually use and enjoy super savings all June. Like 15% off all power tools and Stanley hand tools, 20% off Vento PVC windows, 20% off Ascot porcelain tiles and 30% off Piso Forte ceramic tiles, and 40% off Sunlight windows and doors. Plus, stop in at Brothers Habet every Saturday for our veranda clearance blowout. And for every $50 you spend, get a chance to win a power tool every Saturday. Visit Habet and Brothers Habet today and give Dad something worthy of his super handiness. Happy Father's Day to all super handy dads.
Welcome back to our final segment of news for tonight. Love Live at 6 continues. The Belize Food Heritage Project district-level workshop concluded today in Belize City, following 3 days of activities held at the Museum of Belizean Art. Today, the final day featured hands-on inventorying exercises carrying out in breakout groups, where participants also took part in preparing and cooking local dishes. Director of the Institute for Social and Cultural Research, Rolando Cocom, explained the purpose of the workshop and shared what he hopes participants will take away from the experience.
And as part of this initiative, we have been engaging throughout the country with community members to learn more about the cherished food traditions that they have in their communities, but also some of the food traditions that are at risk. You know, some food traditions are not as common, they're not as visible, and their recipes are not as known by many residents. And so we also want to document those food traditions and to say to the broader population that there's a tremendous value with knowing each other's food traditions. The diverse food traditions from all our cultures can be so enriching as part of knowing each other, and also enriching in terms of the nutritional value that it has. And even thirdly, perhaps beneficial for us as a country that wants to be more resilient, that wants to be more sustainable. We firmly believe that if we eat more local crops and utilize more local food recipes, that there will be a lot of benefits in terms of benefits for the farmers, benefits for our economy, benefits for our health. And so that's the ultimate push that we're having, to say that our food, our culture is extremely important to national development. And over the past 2 days and today 3 days, we have been sharing this knowledge and learning from the participants. There have been more than 30 participants in this edition. I would hope that they take away some of the same things that they've been telling us, which is that, hey, you know, I never realized we are so diverse. I never realized that you prepare the food in a way similar but also unique. And so that aspect of multicultural sharing is very important. The tools part is also very important to us, and our goal is that after this workshop, they would also still join together, they'll team together and document an additional 12 food traditions. In fact, yesterday we went over what those food recipes would be, and we ended up with a list of more than 30 food traditions, which is more than our target. And so we're very excited, and I can tell you that they themselves are excited, and that's what we also want to see more and more in our schools and in the other initiatives that fellow sister ministries are doing.
The workshop began on Monday, June 22, with an introduction to intangible cultural heritage safeguarding. Participants were introduced to the UNESCO Convention along with an overview of the Belize Food Heritage Project. On Tuesday, the focus shifted to capacity building, and audiovisual documentation. Sessions covered food heritage and sustainable development, identification of Toledo foodways, and the introduction of field kits. The workshop was hosted by the National Institute of Culture and History through the Institute for Social and Cultural Research as part of ongoing efforts to safeguard and promote Belize's food heritage for future generations. Police officers and prosecutors from southern Belize recently came together for a two-day training workshop aimed at strengthening cooperation between investigators and prosecutors in the criminal justice system. The Joint Police Prosecutor Training Workshop was organized through the partnership between the Caribbean and the European Union on Justice, better known as PACE Justice, in collaboration with the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions and the Belize Police Department. The sessions focus on improving coordination between police investigators and prosecutors to help build stronger cases and improve the delivery of justice. Leading the workshop were former Jamaican Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn, King's Counsel and legal expert Anselmo del Moral Torres, who shared their knowledge and experience with participants. Representatives from southern Belize took an active role throughout the workshop, contributing to discussions and engaging fully in the practical sessions. According to the organizers, the training provided a valuable opportunity for officers and prosecutors to exchange ideas, strengthen working relationships, and sharpen the skills needed to investigate and prosecute cases more effectively. Belize's own Shine Barra was among the featured performers at one of the biggest hip-hop events of the Juneteenth weekend in the United States. The 47-year-old rapper took center stage before a packed crowd of approximately 15,000 fans at the iconic Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The Belizean entertainer shared the lineup with internationally acclaimed artists Meek Mill, T.I., Eve, and Havoc of Mobb Deep. The performance also marked a significant milestone for Shine as he celebrated the 25th anniversary of his recording career with fans who turned out in force for the Lit in AC 2026 concert. The event was marketed as a celebration of Juneteenth, blending live performances with cultural recognition of the holiday commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. And this concludes Love Live at 6/4 tonight. We want to say thank you for joining us and for watching. We do invite you to join us again tomorrow evening for another live, updated, televised news broadcast. Up next, we take a look at the latest in weather news.
Good evening. Mainly fair weather prevails over the country. And in the 24-hour forecast, skies will be partly cloudy tonight and then sunny with a few cloudy spells tomorrow. Showers or thunderstorms will be isolated with a few more developing over the south tonight. Then low temperatures will reach around 78 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 75 inland, then 68 in the mountains. High temperatures for tomorrow will reach around 88 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 92 inland, then 82 up in the hills. Winds over the open sea will be from the east to northeast at 10 to 20 knots, with sea conditions being choppy to moderate. Then high tides occur at 7:15 tonight and at 6:15 tomorrow morning. Low tides at 11:56 tonight, then at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. The sun will set at 6:30 this evening and rise at 5:20 tomorrow morning, while moonset is at 1:46 tomorrow morning and moonrise at 3:08 tomorrow afternoon. And now for the extended forecast. Skies will be generally cloudy, with a few showers and isolated thunderstorms expected over the south for Thursday night. Then activity will spread mostly over some central and inland areas on Friday. And finally for the tropical weather outlook. Tropical cyclone formation is not expected over the North Atlantic Basin during the next 48 hours. And this has been this evening's weather report from the National Meteorological Service.